Three-time NASCAR Cup Series winner Aric Almirola announced today that he would be retiring from the NASCAR Cup Series after the 2022 season. I would say it's a bit shocking. I did not exactly fully see this coming, but at the same time, I'm not 100% shocked. I don't know how else to say that, but anyways, Almirola will no longer be in the NASCAR Cup Series after this season. He's driven in the Cup Series. I think they said in the NASCAR release he's been in the Cup Series since 2007, did part-time through 2010, 2011, and then in 2012 he got his break, went to Richard Petty Motorsports, raced there for a few years, and actually won a Cup race in 2014 at Daytona in a rain-shortened race. That was his first career win. He's from Florida, Tampa, I want to say, so that was, kind of a home win in a sense for him. Very big deal. But after that, after his stint at Richard Petty Motorsports, he went to Stewart-Haas Racing, made it to the round of 8 of the playoffs in his first year at Stewart-Haas Racing, got a win at Talladega, and he got another win last year at New Hampshire. And he's been at Stewart-Haas Racing since 2018. This will be his final year at Stewart-Haas Racing and also his final year in the Cup Series now. That is confirmed. Almirola released some YouTube video, 7-8 minute video explaining his decision on why he is retiring from the Cup Series. His family is the main reason why. He said, "I truly enjoy driving race cars, and I'm excited to race my heart out in 2022 for Smithfield and Stewart-Haas Racing. But to be the best in the business, you've got to be selfish, and for the last 37 years, my life has always revolved around me and what I needed to do. I want to be present. I want to be the best husband and father, and that to me means more than being a race car driver. So it's one more year where I'm all in on racing, where we'll do whatever it takes to compete at the highest level, but when the season is over, I'll be ready to wave goodbye. I've loved every minute of it, but it's time for the next chapter of my life." Almirola, he does have 2 kids, obviously wife, family, all that stuff. But, he hasn't had, a Hall of Fame career, a great career. But he's won 3 Cup Series races. He's made it to the Cup Series playoffs. He's raced in top-tier Cup Series equipment. I think he can be happy with his career, I would say. Obviously, the last 2 years, I would say, haven't been great. But last year, that win at New Hampshire was big for him. Really cool to see the emotions he had, how happy he was about it. You look at his whole career, Xfinity, trucks, everything involved in it. And, it's the ups and downs. He's had the highest of highs with winning, and then he's also had the lowest of lows. His back injury in 2017. He missed a few races because of that injury. But also in terms of the racing, once again, the highs of winning, but also the low. One of the lows, I would say, in his racing career when it comes to just, racing and not exactly injuries or anything, was the 2018 Daytona 500. He was 2 corners away from winning that Daytona 500 before being crashed by Austin Dillon. So Almirola has proved in his career that he has been competitive. He has proved that he can win Cup races. He had the most wins for Stewart-Haas Racing last year. So, Almirola, he has shown that he is able to win if given the equipment. Not exactly a championship caliber driver, but a decent driver who can get some race wins when given the opportunity. And a guy who's had a long Cup Series career that I think he can be happy with. So, obviously, Almirola, another guy that we've seen go. I feel like the last 6 years has just been so many guys have retired, stepped away from the sport, whatever it may be. Big names, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, all those guys. But, even some of these other guys, Aric Almirola now being one of them. But, other guys, Paul Menard, guys like that. So it's just, it's kind of weird to see all these guys go. But this will be his last year. They announced earlier, right before the retirement announcement, Smithfield announced that they would be on board for 2022 with Stewart-Haas Racing and Almirola. They didn't say how many races, but that's been a long-time partnership with Almirola and Smithfield. That dates all the way back to the Richard Petty Motorsports days. So as long as Almirola was at SHR, or as long as, Almirola had Smithfield, he was going to be at SHR. And I don't know if this is, Almirola, his contract's up at the end of this year, so I don't know if Stewart-Haas Racing was saying, hey, we're not going to re-sign you, and then Almirola decided to retire, or if it was 100% his decision. I'm not sure, but whatever makes Aric Almirola happy, I'm happy for him. Once again, I think he had a good, decent career. Nothing too extraordinary, but, he got cup wins. He got to compete for wins. He got in top-tier equipment, so I'm happy for him. I really am. Hopefully he spends his time with his family. Hopefully he enjoys it. I know he'll miss the racing, but really just hope he's happy. But on to, the next topic. Now that Aric Almirola will be gone after 2022, this isn't some mid-pack team that's losing a driver, that's losing or opening up a seat per se, or a bottom tier team. This is a top team in the Cup Series. Last year they struggled, yes. They only had one win, and it was from Almirola. And other than that, Stewart-Haas Racing was bad per their usual performances. But with the next-gen car, hopefully they can get back to that top tier. Look at 2020. 2020, Kevin Harvick himself had, 9-10 wins in one season. Harvick's been the guy there, and he's had seasons where he's had 7, 8, 9 wins. But you've also seen Boyer get a few wins in a single season. You've seen Almirola get some wins. You've seen Kurt Busch get wins when he was there. Cole Custer has a win at Stewart-Haas Racing. So we have seen multiple guys be able to put it into victory lane with Stewart-Haas Racing. So who will be next up? Who will be the guy? And if I had to guess, it's going to be Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece, just a few days ago, maybe a week ago or so, Ryan Preece announced that he would be the reserve driver for Stewart-Haas Racing in 2022. Driver gets COVID or something, driver misses a race because, their wife is having a baby, something like that. Then Preece would step into the car, but this contract, this deal included him with races for him. He would be in the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and he would even get a couple of Cup starts, but it was not confirmed which teams that he would be racing for. But Preece does have a contract with Stewart-Haas Racing now. Preece lost his ride after last year. He was in JTG Doherty equipment. He had been there for a few years, but JTG Doherty opted to go back to a single-car team. Preece was left hanging. He was a free agent, never found any rides. And now he has stepped into the reserve role at Stewart-Haas and will get some starts this year in a few series. So I think Preece is, he's being groomed to take over one of the cars at SHR. I would have guessed Harvick, but Harvick doesn't seem like he's going to retire anytime soon. I know he's getting up there in age, but he doesn't seem like he's ready to retire. Almirola, now that he's stepping away, I think Ryan Preece will be the guy to take over. But if it's not Preece, you got some other candidates out there, I'd say. I'm trying to think. I don't know whose contracts are up, but, a long shot could be someone like, I don't know, Ryan Newman, maybe, Matt DiBenedetto. DiBenedetto's got a 2022 Truck Series ride, but if Stewart-Haas Racing wanted to take a risk on him, or once again, Ryan Newman's been at SHR before, but I don't know. Go back to Danica Patrick, but this one is, this one I'm about to bring up, it's a super long shot, but think about it. Think about it, SHR, if you're watching this. In fall, at Martinsville, there was a driver there at this race. It was the first NASCAR race he's attended. A former Formula One driver, Daniel Kvyat. That's right. He was at the race at Martinsville in the fall, and he was with Stewart-Haas Racing. He was with their team. They were telling him all about NASCAR and stuff. If Ryan Preece isn't good to go, put Kvyat in that car, and he will dominate NASCAR. Best race car driver of all time. Mark my words. But no, I don't think he'll get that ride. But, he said he was exploring the NASCAR option. He said he was looking at it, so, what if? But, yeah, once again, Aric Almirola, decent career. He's going to look to compete in 2022. If Stewart-Haas Racing improves off of what they did last year, he should make the playoffs. So win. It'll be difficult for him to get a win, but I think making the playoffs is a definite goal for him and should be an achievable goal. He's made the playoffs the last, I think, every year he's been at Stewart-Haas, but I think that's got to be the goal for him. He's a long shot for the championship, let's be honest, but I think the goal for him this year, make the playoffs and also get a win. I think those are two goals that are definitely achievable, if you will, but Also, they have a really good paint scheme. You know, I'm not a fan of moving the numbers, but Stewart-Haas Racing has done a great job with their paint schemes this year. We'll do a paint scheme preview here in a week or two, just kind of rate some paint schemes, but Almirola in this Smithfield scheme is really nice looking, so good job to Smithfield and Stewart-Haas with that. But as for his replacement, once again, I think it's going to be Ryan Preece. It seems like he's being groomed to be the next driver at SHR, and, well, now there's an open seat, so he may slip on in there. Or Riley Herbst, ladies and gentlemen. No, it's not going to be Herbst, but that's that. Also, Dale Earnhardt Jr., he's testing the next-gen car at Daytona today, maybe, tomorrow, sometime this week for Hendrick Motorsports. Of course, Jr., 20-something career wins. He's won some Daytona 500s, one of the all-time great plate racers, so no shock that if Hendrick was going to give someone a call, they'd call Dale Jr. to potentially test the car, and he was willing to do it. So Dale Jr. will be in a next-gen car testing at Daytona. So that's cool. I don't know what other news there is. That was the big one, though. Aric Almirola, someone who we've watched the last, decade or so in the Cup Series. I'm happy for him. Happy that he gets to end the career on his terms. Happy that he gets one last full season with SHR. Happy that he gets to go spend time with his family after this. So good for him. Good for Aric Almirola. But yeah, hope you have a great day, night, whatever you are. I'll get some more videos up soon. As I said, potentially a paint scheme, not preview, but a paint scheme rating in the next week or two. Look out for that. There's been a lot of paint schemes. There's been some like the Almirola scheme that I really like. And then there's some that just make me want to vomit. But yes, we will look at some of those in the upcoming weeks. We might have to do a few videos on those just because there's going to be a lot. So yeah, just look out for that. But thanks for watching this once again. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff, you know. But Aric Almirola, Aric Almigoda, if you will. It's been fun watching you in NASCAR, so have a great rest of your career this one final year.